Yeah, so early on, strained my groin, rolling out right on one of those early third downs, and um, you know, felt it, and definitely was something that was bothering me throughout the game, and try to play through it, and obviously it got to a point where I just couldn't keep going anymore.
How tough was that to gut it through that whole first half?
Yeah, obviously, it wasn't ideal, but it happened. So try to do my best, keep playing through it. But limited movement, things like that, it was fine. But it was mostly anytime I had to move, things like that. That's when I kind of felt it the most.
Do you feel like it altered at all how you threw the ball out there when you were playing? Like you couldn't, really dig in and throw the ball at all? Did you feel that much?
No, I mean I felt the biggest thing was just moving. Felt like it limited my ability to extend the plays, kind of do some scramble things like that. It's definitely that.
The coach says plan is one day at a time for you. What's your plan for this week in terms of rehab and what you hope happens?
Yeah, same thing. I'm gonna take it one day at a time. Do my best I can to be in here doing rehab, get with the trainers, and try and get back as fast as possible.
He said you want to play.
Yes, yeah, definitely want to play.
Do you feel at all just a little bit unlucky? I mean, you've had a couple of these things that have just kind of popped up on you.
No, I mean I think injury is part of the game. You hate to see them. It sucks when it happens to you, but it's part of it. So just try and control what you control. Handle rehab, handle trying to get back, and do everything I can to prevent injuries in the future.
Jordan, how much pain were you in when you were trying to leave the field? Because it looked like you were trying to get to the sideline, and then could you not get there, or did they tell you to go down, or what?
Yeah, my leg was just locking up, so I couldn't make it to the sideline right there. So I just went down.
So how does it feel now compared to that? How much progress do you think you've made?
Yeah, I've made progress. It's definitely feeling better. I think every day there'll be some improvements to it, but definitely feels better than it did on Sunday.
With that said, you obviously want to play. How realistic is it that you can be out there Sunday?
I think it's realistic.
How comfortable would you be playing on no practice if that's the route you guys go?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, not practicing during the week is not the ideal format for trying to play a game. But like I said, things happen. So if that's a scenario, I know I'll be fine. But definitely, it's not the ideal scenario for going into a big week.
What's your definition of being able to protect yourself? That's kind of what Matt said. He didn't think you could protect yourself. What do you view that as?
Yeah, I mean, I think just being able to play, being able to move around in the pocket, and not trying to hurt myself further by playing. So I think that's what he means by that. But for me, I mean, just being able to move around a little bit, and just be myself out there playing, not trying to just be stuck in the pocket, not being able to move if I need to move, things like
You guys
that.
have a bye after this week. Is there any merit for a player to say, big picture, another week of rest, and that would get me an extra week of rest?
I mean, I think it all depends on what the injury is, how you feel going into the week, right before the game, things like that. So, like we said, we'll monitor it, but obviously, big division game coming up, so I'm going to do all I can to try and get back for it.
Does that play a factor? On one hand, it's the beginning of November, but on the other hand, it's the Lions, and you know that not just a rivalry, but you guys are going for the same thing. Does the opponent factor at all?
I think it does, but I think at the same time, no matter who we are playing, with any injury, I'm going to try and get back as soon as I can. I want to be out there for the guys on my team and to put my best foot forward out there for them. So I think, whoever it was, I would definitely try and get back as fast as possible, even with the bye being next week.
How frustrating have the starts and stops of this season been for you? Having the knee, now this. Mentally, how's it been to weather that?
Yeah, it's like I said before, it's definitely frustrating. It's not ideal. You wish you could just go through a season, be healthy, bounce back every week. But things pop up. It's not like I say all the time, control what you control. So doing my best, just try and get through the week, do my best doing treatment and get myself ready. But the mental aspect, you definitely got to work on that and just stay calm, understand that injuries happen, it's part of the game, but it's definitely not ideal.
You see teams fall apart offensively when their starter goes down. That doesn't seem to be the case here. What do you think of just what Malik has done when he's been called upon?
Yeah, big time. Big time plays he's made, and obviously early on in the season it was a lot tougher for him. He just got here and was still learning the system, things like that. So, obviously I've been there as a backup. We always say you're one play away, and you never know when that play is going to come. So he's done a great job just staying ready, staying dialed in through the week and the game plan. And it's hard when you don't get as many reps throughout the week in practice, and to go out there and make some big time plays like he did is impressive. So definitely it's helped us out a lot.
When you look at this Lions secondary, one guy's got 5 picks, another guy's got 4 picks. Just what's allowing them to make those plays, and how do you kind of go about it in terms of studying them and getting them?
Yeah, I think definitely on the back end they got some good players. I mean, I think Joseph and Brandon. I mean, they're both ball hawk players. They have a knack for making those big time plays, and so we've seen those guys. We have a feel for them, and like you said, you just got to always be smart with the ball, be picky, make great reads, and but yeah, I mean, I know who those guys are. They're very good players, very talented, and it's no surprise that they're making big time plays like that.
Jordan, after the game, some of your offensive guys were a little frustrated, so there's a lot more out there for this offense. Where do you think that it can go? What has to get better or more consistent, or whatever you think offensively?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. You could break down every play of the game and find one little thing that we can improve on. So, like you said, the consistency is definitely, I think, the most frustrating part. Is it's part of the game though. There's highs, there's lows. It's definitely not ever going to be perfect, but I think when we know that there's mistakes and mental errors that we were having on our own end, that is stuff that we can clean up. That's the frustrating part. So just keep finding that consistency, keep trying to get better, improve on it. But I don't think we've played our best performance yet. So we're definitely still trying to hunt for that.
What's your take on receiving to start the game when you win the toss? Because against Lions last year, you guys did it, went down and scored. I think the same against the Cowboys, but last 2 weeks it hasn't worked out. Do you and Matt kind of collaborate on that before the game?
I mean, I'm offensive guy. I always want to take the ball. I always want to go out there, take the ball, go down, put the perfect drive together, and put up 7 to start the game. I think there's no better way to start the game. So obviously, like you said, it hasn't panned out for us. That's been a goal for ourselves. Is to start the game fast, go down there and put up points, and it just hasn't panned out. So we're still searching for that, but I think there's no better way to start a game than go down there and score a touchdown.
Going back to Malik, I'm curious, what's going through your mind at the end of this game when the game's online and you want to be out there, you're on the sideline, and then you're able to see him put together that, we talked about a perfect drive. Mm-hmm. What was your perspective of that drive, and just what was kind of going through your mind in that moment?
Man, I loved it. Sitting back on the side, like you said, obviously wish I was out there. But sitting on the side, being able to just see the plays break down, and obviously the big play he had to Jay Reed was perfect. Just how you draw it up, pretty much handed it off to him. So it's one of those drives we had 2 weeks back to back where it's a minute left and we got to go win the game. So obviously Malik came up huge, and Brandon came up huge at the end right there as well. But on the sideline just watching, obviously hope for the best.
I know you said that you tracked him a little bit in Tennessee, but you haven't been around him like this very long. How close have you guys gotten in a few weeks?
No, very close. Like I said, me and Malik have known each other, and obviously, once you're in the room together, with each other every day, that relationship grows. So, definitely got a great relationship with him, with Sean, and I think we got a great quarterback room.
Jordan, what'd you think of Josh Jacobs' performance this last game, and also just what he's meant to this offense in general, whether it's been you or Malik?
Yeah, no, really good. I think Josh has been that kind of steady force for us all season. Just having those chippy runs, getting 4, 5, 6 yards on all those runs, and then obviously just keep feeding him until he breaks that big one like he did. So, I think he's a very talented runner. Has a knack for just making guys miss in the hole. He's very elusive. So, obviously, I think the numbers might not be there, like touchdown-wise, things like that for him, but he's a very huge part of our offense and helps us get rolling.
Jordan, with the way the Lions are playing that offense, the way Goff's playing, is it putting pressure on the offense, your offense, to keep up?
Definitely. Anytime you got a good offense on the other side, you're going to need to put up points. So definitely just help the defense out. I got faith in them that they're going to be able to get those stops. But definitely the goal on offense, put up as many points as we can because we know they can score in a hurry.
To Rob's question earlier about the consistency in offense, do you feel like that's your position, even though you hadn't gotten there yet, to kind of keep up in a trajectory that kind of gets to that?
Sorry, say that again?
Yeah, I know Rob was asking about the offense kind of not also cylinders yet. Do you feel like if it comes to it that you guys can play at that high level this week if you need to?
Definitely. I got all the confidence in the world in our offense and what we can be about, and I definitely know we can put up points too. So all it comes down to is going out there and executing and making those plays that we talk about all week. So I'm very confident in our ability to do that.
Two more for Jordan.
Jordan, I know you've got the toughness and the pride and the commitment to your team to play, even if you're hurt. Do you have it in you to not play if it's not the right decision?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of that happened with my knee injury, just trying to push it as much as I can throughout the week and, get to the end of the week and, listen to the trainers, be smart. But if it's not ready, if it's, not time to go, definitely not trying to push it because like we always say, it's a long season. So definitely want to be able to be available for the rest of the season.
You know, as a football player and a basketball player growing up, groin injury is a pretty common thing. You've had this in the past. Is this the most severe you've ever had? Do you think it's related to the fact that you're rehabbing the knee on that leg too?
Yeah, so I've actually never had a groin injury, to this severity. So, it's painful. It's something you go through, but I've never dealt with this. So it's a new world for me in terms of that. But in terms of compromising with the knee injury, things like that, who knows? It definitely could play a factor in all that. But I don't know. But I've never had this injury, so it's definitely an annoying one. But going to keep working, keep doing rehab and treatment, and get myself ready to go.
Jordan, you stayed on the bench. I'm sorry, you stayed on the bench the whole time there. In what ways were you able to help Malik, and how much pain were you in while you were still staying down there on the sideline?
Yeah, no, it's just communicating when we come to the sideline and, being in Malik's ear. And, he does the same thing when I come to the sideline. It's pretty much being the eyes on the sideline, it's hard when you're out there to be able to see everything all at once and you might miss some stuff. So just pointing out things that, I might see on the sideline or things that the defense might be doing to try and help them out for the next drives.